1 ball, 2 strikes to Adam. This one hit deep. Did he do it again? Going back, looking up, that's gone!
For years now, the Reds have asked themselves the very same question. What about left field? And in the first half of this season, Adam Duvall has provided an emphatic answer to that question. The perfect combination of power and production at the plate to go along with more than dependable defense. And the secret to Duvall's success is tucked away in the back pocket of his baseball pants.
Yeah, I have fans out in left field all the time. Wherever I go, they're asking me if I have my cell phone in my back pocket. They're yelling down at me. So, but you know, it hasn't been too much of a problem. So.
Adam Duvall, the best story of the summer in Cincinnati, is diabetic, and that unidentified object in his pocket is the insulin pump that helped him get here. A standout athlete in high school and college, Duvall wasn't diagnosed with type 1 diabetes until about 4 years ago, more than 2 years after he was captain of the Louisville Cardinals baseball team and an 11th round pick of the San Francisco Giants.
You know, looking back, I showed some signs, you know, throughout games at University of Louisville that, you know, I would get kind of tired and I'd get jittery and you know, and my body was telling me that I needed sugar, and you know, I would go get some Gatorade or something and I'd be fine, I'd be able to finish the game. But you know, looking back, I didn't know, you know, those were some signs, but I do now.
The scouting report on Duvall has always been the same. He hits home runs, but that power wasn't always there in 2012 as he started his 3rd professional season, hoping to make a strong impression on the Giants. Instead, he felt weak and tired and dropped 20 pounds from his usually chiseled frame. At that point, blood work finally gave Duvall his diagnosis.
I was most concerned when I got on the pump, and you know, it was my first spring training, and you know, I was nervous about maybe going low when I was out in the field, and you know, being the new guy, you don't want to have to, you know, call time and run into the dugout and get some Gatorade. So, you know, that was the biggest thing that I was nervous about. You know, but I was relieved that we found, you know, what the problem was, and you know, we could go from there.
That first season, after Duvall learned how to successfully treat his diabetes, he drove in 100 runs in just 134 games for the Giants' single-A team. 2 years later, he made his big league debut in San Francisco, and now that he's an all-star in Cincinnati, he has the platform to share his experience and raise awareness about an often misunderstood disease.
It's great to get the word out that type 1 diabetes doesn't just strike children. Half of new diagnoses are actually in adults. And in Adam's case, he had some of the classic warning signs and symptoms. Frequent urination, extreme thirst, weight loss, extreme unexplained fatigue. The thing we want people to know about type 1 diabetes, it can strike anyone, any age, any time, and it doesn't have anything to do with your diet or your level of fitness.
I always thought, you know, that could be something that I could work for, you know, using my presence here in the big leagues and you know, just using that as a platform. So, you know, I think it fits me well, is obviously that I'm living with it, and, you know, I think it's something that could use a little bit more exposure and a little bit, you know, a little bit more information about it, and you know, so I'm excited to work for that.
There's so many kids who live with this disease, and here in Southwest Ohio alone, we estimate there are about 31,000 people who have type 1 diabetes. Okay. And the fact that they can turn on the TV, see Adam, see he's doing so well, he's really kind of rising to the top of his game, just is inspiration for them to know that diabetes doesn't have to stop them.
You know, 10 or 20 years ago, I don't know, you know, I don't know what would have happened. You know, I could have, you know, been out of the game maybe, possibly, but you know, thanks to the research and all that, you know, it's come a long way, so I'm excited for that.